And we're joined now by Minnesota Democratic Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Margaret.
We have a lot to get to with you, but I want to pick up on where the Treasury Secretary just left off. He alleged that people who were tied to you or your campaign were involved in this broad, brazen scheme to rip off the Minnesota state welfare system. Do you want to respond to that? Do you know what he is referring to?
I really don't, and I don't think the secretary himself understands what he's referring to. We obviously had people who were able to donate to our campaign that were involved. We sent that money back a couple years ago. And actually, I was one of the first members of Congress to send a letter to the Secretary of Eg asking them to look into what I thought was a reprehensible fraud that was occurring within the program.
So this was, just for our audience, the Biden-era Justice Department called it the largest COVID fraud scheme in the country. And this was pocketing COVID-era welfare funds, more than $1 billion in taxpayer money that was stolen. It was pretty shocking. Of the 87 people charged, all but 8 are of Somali descent. And that has added to the spotlight being put specifically on your community. Why do you think this fraud was allowed to get so widespread?
Well, I want to say, this also has an impact on Somalis because we are also taxpayers in Minnesota. We also could have benefited from the program and the money that was stolen. And so it's been really frustrating for people to not acknowledge the fact that we're also as Minnesotans.
So basically, what she's saying is she's not going to answer her question. Hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm Terrence Manning. This is My Thoughts Uncut. She reps Minnesota. Minnesota is about $8 billion now with this fraud case with Somalis. At the current moment is about $8 billion. And she said all but 7 to 8 of them out of all the people, all the cases in Minnesota about this fraud thing, about 7 or 8 of them are not Somalis. That is sad. And for her to come on here and pretend that this is something she didn't know about or she said something about before, I don't buy it. And she reps Minnesota and she really reps Somalia. Anytime she speaks, she's talking about how Somalia is great and how America sucks. Let's continue. Let's see what she has to say.